What's going on, people? It's your boy living in London. How are ya? Come on, it's been a good day, man. I was on the train earlier. Did you watch the live? If not, go and check it out. Anyway, man, guess who I'm with? Come on, it's your boy living in Birmingham meets living in London. Yeah. So what's going on, Darren? How are you, brother? You good?
Yeah, I'm fine, mate.
Come on. So
had
we
a
had
nice day with you.
nice
chicken scran.
Come on, I had something to eat and that, chilled out, had a little chat and that. Come on, had a little debate. And yeah, so what you got coming up on your thing, Dal? What's going on with your shows and that, mate?
Well, the majority of it's going to be
One sec, we're just getting petrol. See if we can get petrol.
Number 4.
What is going on with the petrol shortages out here quickly? Like, what's going on, man? I swear it's another conspiracy.
The real crime, real time podcast is what it's about with me. So basically, I'm focusing on unsolved murders from the city of Liverpool that are linked to drug dealing and the criminal fraternity, basically.
Yeah, I bet there's a lot to fucking content there, isn't it, mate?
There's loads, mate. Just like in every part of the country.
Yeah.
You know, there's unsolved murders on most estates, and everyone just keeps that silent wall up, and they're never getting solved. And all just doing is just creating generational violence.
Yeah, generational violence, where when the youngers grow up, they take on the olders' beef.
That's it, and it's just never ending. Once there's a fatality in any war, it never stops. It's like
once blood is shed, isn't it? It gets real serious.
Like flow, yeah.
Yeah, brother, I hear you.
So that's what I'm targeting, lad. The unsolved murders. Obviously, there's a lot of work to do. I'm heading on myself, so they're not getting pushed out as much as they will. But I'm going through a backlog of murders that's over 20 years old that the police just push under the car because they're drug dealers. They don't really get a mention no more.
Not
up until now, in the last what, 3 or 4 years, we've got something like 8 unsolved murders to do with gangbanging, drug dealing, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
and
mate.
They're all young kids. They're all 25s, 28s, 18s, and what you've got, some are even 45s. But what you've got to understand is they're all our own people, mate.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what city you're from.
Yeah.
It's like, what can I use for an example? Well, we were talking about Jordan before, where we saw Salford. So in Salford, you've got the 18 and you've got the fucking B team, if you like. But basically, they've grown up with each other. They fucking the drugs have made them divide and have some sort of beef, and it's just escalated into madness where there's fatalities and it'll never stop. But the bottom line is, they're our own people. If I go to war with a kid who's living round the corner from my house, he's the same breed. He's the same. He's everything I am. So why am I trying to kill him? Because of the drugs and the violence that's involved with the distribution of the drugs. And
see, when you're doing this type of content, do you feel like you get a lot of hate from it, or what?
Yeah, of course. It comes with the territory, doesn't it, lads? It comes with, it comes with the fact that I'm out there raising my opinion about a lot of dangerous people. And
like we're saying, they're unsolved, so the killers are still out there. Do you know what I'm saying? So I can imagine.
You've got me running around a city highlighting a murder case that had someone who's killed 4 people since that murder, and he's still out there, and he's thinking, well, this cunt could get me fucking nicked here.
Yeah.
I can do with this cunt.
That's mad. Yeah. That's that is crazy. So yeah, I can imagine, brother. It's a lot of.
I'm not arsed, bro. I'm here for a reason. It's all part. The choose a life, not a knife message has just sort of took me down this channel. I'm going with the flow. I'm not directing this. I'm just going where the message leads me. At the moment, it's brought me onto drugs and unsolved murders. And I'm quite happy raising them subjects because there's a lot of young, decent lads that, they might have got involved in drugs, but they didn't deserve to be taken out the way they got took out. The likes of Aaron Lewis, the likes of Jamie Starkey. People like this, they don't deserve the ending they get because a group of dirty drug dealers think they've got the power to judge someone and end their life just because they fucked up with a bit of drugs. It doesn't make sense to me, and it never will. And whilst I'm here, I'm always going to raise the subject in my community in Liverpool before anywhere else. It is what it is. I don't want the kids of Liverpool going to school and seeing someone shot dead with a crime scene every other month. Going to school, having to walk past 2 heroin addicts who's lost their legs, bumming them for the dinner money. All these sort of pitfalls of your communities is all down to drugs and the flow of drugs.
Yeah, I lost my father down to drugs. A lot of my family are hooked on drugs.
So you know firsthand the damage drugs do to families and the communities that families reside in. I know a lot of lads, I know kids who were in jail that lost their dad at an early age through drugs, whether taking it, whether dealing it. They were either murdered, or they weren't. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah,
drugs
I get
are nasty. Drugs are fucking nasty.
I definitely agree, man.
Destroying the youth. Everyone's taking drugs now as if it's part of you growing up. It's not part of you growing up.
Bro, when I was young, when we were growing up, it was more about being a drug dealer than it was about being an addict. Now it's about being an addict and supplying the drugs to all your friends and your family if possible. Like, there is literally no grey area no more. It's just literally black or white. You're either on drugs or you're not, bruv. It's crazy. I don't party. I'm not a partier.
But the bottom line is, if you sit there and criticise me for raising awareness to these matters, you're just a rat and you're a drug dealer, or you're raising money, or you're getting finances from that trade. Because look, I know people that graft, and it is what it is, but they still do more good than bad. Do you understand what I mean? It is what it is. It's very hard to get away from that circle of people. You're always going to interact with someone that's earning something from the trade of drugs, because the market's saturating
everything.
Every market,
everything,
so
everywhere.
Everyone's handling some sort of drug money, whether you're working in a shop, whether you're a taxi driver. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah, I get you. I get you, brother.
It's saturating everywhere, and the people, the new customers always come from the next generation. So my generation, we were the customers. We targeted the generation under us when we started selling, which was the generation under us. That generation, when they start selling, target under them as customers. And it's just like that. But what you're seeing now is 12-year-old kids snorting cocaine. 14-year-old girls going missing from the mums for 4 days.
Mate, do you know what, in Camden, I'm going to say this now, there are so many missing pictures of kids that you just see up. Missing my kid 14, please, if you see her, report her. Or missing my kid, like, and I'm like, is this a new thing, or am I just noticing this, or what? It's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy.
There's a lot of missing children.
It's fucked, man.
And no one's really recognising that they're going missing, because the majority of them that go missing, although you do get plenty going from loving family homes, the majority that go missing and you don't even hear of them again are coming from care systems, coming from the streets. They're just being took, because there's that many different type of criminal within this country right now. Don't tell me it's unbelievable that girls are getting kidnapped and put on the game in other countries. It's not unbelievable. That happens. You get young girls taken away, put onto this path. It could be in Albania, it could be in Lithuania, it could be anywhere. Don't think they don't just come to this country and sell drugs. They come to this country and participate in every bit of crime that's happening. And if that's shifting girls out the country to put them on the game, like they shift girls into the country to put them on the game, don't think it's not happening.
Yeah. This is what, listen, another thing, this is why I make my reaction videos sometimes about rappers, and I talk about certain things, because even though we've got drug dealers, we've also got these people that are spitting the best side of crime. And there is a good side of crime. It's not like you go into crime and it's all negative and pain. No, there is a fun, good, glamorous side to that shit. But when you only promote that one side and you won't give the other side, then your boy's here to just shed light on the whole thing. With me in that Jordan McCann situation, like I say, I'm a Jordan McCann fan. But at the end of the day, right's right and real's real. And if you're gonna promote the glamorous side, promote the gritty side as well. That's why I get onto people.
What you've just said there, there's two sides to crime. One's not good and one's good. So the glamorous side to me
is the selfish side, the self-serving side.
Right, so the not good side is the self-centered shit. The glamorous side is a fake bird that smokes coke on you and bangs your birds. There's nothing good about committing crime. You might put food on the plate to your children for a year or so, but the end game, when you're involved in crime, there's no longevity in it.
No.
Stop.
And
if you think you're going to have a career in criminality without participating in some sort of prison roll count, you're dead wrong.
And even if you are that lucky and you get away with prison, trust me, the unforeseen side effects. Your kids could get on drugs. Your best mate snakes you, blows your head off. Like, you just can't get away from the consequences of the streets. You ain't gonna get away from it. They're there everywhere. They're gonna come for you. My face is scarred up from the streets. My body's scarred up from the streets. Do you know what I'm saying? My mind's scarred up from the streets. Like, and none of this was like intentional. I'm like, yeah, this is gonna happen to me today and I can't wait. You know what I'm saying? It just happens. You put yourself in situations with like-minded individuals who don't give a fuck and want the best for themselves and don't give a fuck about no one else. Just see what happens, man, because it's crazy out there. But listen, people, I'm in Birmingham with Darren G, doing the right thing, L5 alive, living in London with living in Birmingham. Come on, people.
Choose a life, not a knife. As always, keep it real.
Keep it real, keep it positive. Have a good one. Peace.